Humans answered a distress call before it was transmitted. That sentence should not exist. Nothing can answer a signal that has not yet been sent. Our physics forbids it. Our history confirms it. Yet I watched it happen. My name cannot be pronounced by human mouths. The closest sound is Keth. I served as a navigation observer aboard the relief vessel Silent Bloom. We were healers, not soldiers, not heroes. Our species considered violence a disease. Every distress beacon deserved medicine. Every wounded soul deserved mercy. That was the oldest law of our civilization. Humans, I believed, followed the same law. That was my first mistake. The colony of Eridan Nine had gone silent. Mining platforms stopped transmitting. Orbital farms drifted without guidance. Children stopped appearing on public channels. No explosions. No battle reports. Only silence. Silence is the loudest scream in space. We launched immediately. Medical drones filled our cargo bays. Portable hospitals. Regeneration tanks. Nutrient fog generators. Enough supplies to save 40,000 lives. I remember feeling proud. Humans had donated half of that equipment. Strange creatures. Always preparing for disasters. I assumed they simply feared death more than everyone else. I was wrong. 3 hours from the colony, we intercepted a fragmented emergency packet. The message was incomplete. Multiple unidentified fleets. Civilian casualties. Request immediate. The final word vanished inside static. I confidently identified it. Medical. Of course. What else could dying beings request? My captain agreed. We increased speed. Then every sensor screamed. Gravity twisted. Stars bent sideways. Something enormous tore through folded space. Not one ship. Hundreds. Black holes emerged without formation. No diplomatic lights. No rescue markings. Weapons. Thousands of weapons. Human warships. I blinked 6 times. Our scanners had made an error. Humans donated hospitals. Humans delivered medicine. Humans built playgrounds beside refugee camps. Therefore, these ships must be escort vessels, protecting us. The conclusion was obvious. It was also completely wrong. The lead battleship ignored us. No greetings. No requests. Only one broadcast. One sentence. We have the coordinates. Nothing else. No explanation. The fleet accelerated. Straight toward Eridan 9. Their engines glowed blue. Then white. Then colors my eyes were never designed to perceive. Our captain whispered, "Impossible." I disagreed. They're bringing supplies faster. I truly believe that. Why wouldn't I? Healing always comes first. That is how civilization survives. Humans simply prefer dramatic entrances. That explanation satisfied me. For exactly 17 seconds, the first refugee shuttle appeared. Its engines were burning. Half its hull was gone. Children clung to emergency restraints. Adults were missing limbs. No one cried. Shock had stolen even that. Our medical drones launched automatically. Finally, the universe made sense again. Then the refugee pilot screamed over every frequency. Turn back. Nobody answered. He screamed again. They're harvesting everyone. Harvesting? An odd translation. Perhaps collecting survivors. Words often fail between species. Then another shuttle exploded. No missiles. No warning. Just gone. Something invisible had touched it. The humans did not slow down. I frowned. How heartless. People needed doctors. Yet humanity raced past the wounded. I marked this as fascinating psychological behavior. Perhaps predators ignore small injuries to eliminate larger threats. Primitive thinking. Dangerous thinking. Very human. The captain ordered pursuit. We followed the warships. Against every protocol. Against every instinct. Eridan 9 appeared. Or what remained of it. Cities burned beneath shattered atmosphere shields. Orbital elevators drifted in broken spirals. Emergency lights blinked through clouds of ash. Millions had lived there. Now, only smoke answered us. The enemy fleet surrounded the planet. Organic ships. Living ships. They pulsed like gigantic hearts. Their armor flexed. Their weapons breathed. Every scan contradicted biology. Every scan contradicted engineering. I concluded they were harmless. Nothing alive could survive vacuum. Nothing alive could become a battleship. Another mistake. The first human ship fired. No warning. No negotiations. One beam. A single line of white light. An organic cruiser disappeared. Not exploded. Disappeared. Matter simply stopped existing. Every alien aboard my vessel froze. Humans had skipped diplomacy. How irrational. How reckless. Surely the enemy would become angry. Then the enemy answered. Thousands of living tendrils burst across space. Each one wrapped around a human destroyer. The destroyer vanished beneath growing flesh. I relaxed. Captured. Alive. Negotiations could begin. The destroyer detonated from inside. The explosion tore the living cruiser into glowing fragments. The human ship emerged. Burning. Broken. Still accelerating. I stared. Why escape? Retreat. Repair. Return later. Simple. Logical. Instead, the damaged destroyer rammed another biological ship. Then another. Then another. It died only after destroying 4 enemies. I searched every known military database. No doctrine matched this behavior. No civilization willingly spent ships that way. Humans clearly misunderstood resource management. That had to be the answer. Our captain didn't speak. Neither did anyone else. The battle intensified. Human vessels moved like predators chasing invisible prey. No hesitation. No fear. No wasted motion. Each loss only increased their speed. Impossible. Loss should reduce morale. That is universal. Except, apparently, not for humans. Then I noticed something stranger. Medical ships. Human medical ships. White hulls. Red crosses. Exactly what I expected. Finally, reason had returned. The hospital vessels entered the battlefield. I felt relief. Now survivors would be rescued. Instead, armor plates unfolded. Missile bays appeared. Rail cannons rotated into position. The hospital ships opened fire harder than the battleships. I cannot process it. Healing vessels. Built for killing? Civilization cannot function that way. It violates every ethical equation. One transmission escaped an open human channel. Protect the civilians. Nothing unusual. Then another voice replied. No civilians left. Silence followed. Only 3 seconds. It felt like centuries. Then the first voice answered. Then protect tomorrow. Every human ship accelerated again. Not away. Forward. Straight into impossible odds. For the first time in my life, I experienced fear. Not of the enemy. Of the species fighting it. Because I suddenly realized something. Humans had never come to deliver medical aid. They had come to make sure someone would still be alive to need it. The humans marched toward extinction without slowing. No species does that. Every tactical doctrine in the galaxy agreed. Preserve strength. Protect assets. Retreat when defeat becomes certain. Humans ignored every one of those rules. I assumed panic had consumed them. That was my greatest mistake. Our captain ordered us to remain behind the battle line. We are healers. His voice trembled. We save whoever survives. A simple mission. A noble mission. Then a human cruiser crossed directly in front of us. Its engines were burning. Half its hull was missing. Thousands of atmosphere leaks glittered behind it like frozen blood. It transmitted only one message. Medical vessel. Stay back. No request. No explanation. Only certainty. I could not understand. We carried hospitals. They carry guns. Surely they needed us. Our captain ignored the warning. He accelerated anyway. That decision almost killed us. Space folded. Not naturally. The enemy fleet changed shape. The living ships opened like flowers. Inside every flower. Eyes. Millions of eyes. None blinked. All stared at us. My bones vibrated. Our instruments failed. Crew members collapsed without wounds. The enemy was attacking our minds. I knew the humans would retreat now. No biological creature could resist such terror. Instead, every human transmission stopped. Complete silence. Not fear. Discipline. Then every warship activated identical frequencies. A single pulse. The psychic pressure weakened. Another pulse. It weakened again. The humans had expected this. How? No species survives first contact with mind predators. Unless they had met them before. That possibility terrified me. The largest organic ship moved. Entire fleets scattered before it. Its shadow covered continents. It was not a warship. It was the mother. It birthed smaller vessels directly into battle. Fresh enemies every few seconds. Infinite reinforcements. My captain whispered the only logical conclusion. We have already lost. I agreed. Humans did not. Their formation changed. For the first time, they retreated. Finally. Reason. I almost celebrated. Humans had learned. Then I noticed something impossible. They were retreating in perfect synchronization. Every damaged ship slowed. Every healthy ship moved ahead. Every medical ship disappeared behind the formation. I assumed they were evacuating survivors. That assumption lasted less than a minute. The hospital ships returned. Different. Their white paint was gone. Armor covered every surface. Their red medical symbols still remained. Untouched. As if they wanted everyone to remember exactly what those ships had once been. One transmission reached every frequency. Human. Calm. Cold. Civilian evacuation complete. Another voice answered. Medical objective complete. I felt relief. Wonderful. Now they would withdraw. Then came the final command. Authorized protocol, Nightingale. Silence. Even the enemy paused. Our translators failed. Nightingale was a healer from ancient human history. Why invoke a healer now? The answer arrived immediately. Every hospital ship opened. Not with hangars. Not with missile tubes. With factories. Millions of autonomous drones poured into space. I smiled. At last. Medical drones. Bandages. Nanites. Rescue machines. Then the drones attached themselves to human warships. Hulls rebuilt themselves while under fire. Cannons regenerated. Engines repaired. Destroyed sections grew back from printed alloy. The humans had transformed hospitals into moving shipyards. The fleet healed while fighting. The enemy adapted instantly. Living tendrils struck every hospital vessel. One after another. They exploded. I relaxed. Without hospitals, human resistance would collapse. Instead, the fleet accelerated again. Impossible. Who was repairing them now? My sensors searched desperately. Nothing. No drones. No factories. Then I saw it. Human crews. Leaving their own ships. Crossing open vacuum in armored suits. Carrying replacement parts with their hands. Some drifted forever. Others reached neighboring vessels. Every repaired gun fired again. Every restored engine returned to battle. Humans became their own repair systems. Their own medical equipment. Their own replacements. Logic broke. One human floated through empty space with a shattered suit. Atmosphere vented around him. He should have died instantly. He reached another cruiser. Activated its engines. Only then did his life signs vanish. He had finished the repair before dying. Why? The answer never came. The mother ship screamed. Not through sound. Through gravity. Entire moon shifted. Our relief vessel spun uncontrollably. The battle line collapsed. The humans finally faced something they could not overpower. One enormous mouth opened across the mother surface. Inside, darkness. Not absence of light. Absence of reality. Every ship swallowed by it simply ceased to exist. No debris. No energy. Nothing. 23 human battleships disappeared. I expected surrender. Instead, one tiny frigate accelerated alone. Ridiculous. Hopeless. Suicidal. It transmitted a single sentence. For those still breathing. Nothing more. The frigate vanished into the impossible mouth. Seconds passed. Nothing happened. Then, the mother's heartbeat stopped. Every living ship froze. Every tendril became motionless. Every eye closed. A crack spread across its impossible body. Light erupted from within. Not an explosion. A sunrise. The biological titan broke apart into billions of glowing fragments. Every remaining enemy ship died with it. The battlefield became silent. No cheers. No celebrations. Only drifting wreckage. We entered orbit at last. Our hospitals finally mattered. Children emerged from shelters. Families embraced. The colonies still lived. Not because medicine had arrived first, because someone had ensured there would be survivors to heal. I found the human admiral hours later. His flagship barely functioned. He looked exhausted, old, broken. I asked the question that had haunted me since the battle began. You answered a medical distress call with warships. He stared at the burning horizon. Then he smiled. A sad smile. The fastest ambulance. He paused. Is sometimes a battleship. For the first time, I understood humans. Or at least, I believed I did. That belief lasted exactly 1 year. Because another distress beacon echoed across the galaxy. Human fleets appeared before the signal finished broadcasting. And this time, they arrived carrying both hospitals and enough firepower to make survival itself contagious. I once believed humans answered impossible calls before they were sent. Now I know the truth. They don't break the laws of reality. They simply refuse to let reality decide who lives. Asterisk asterisk if this story touched your heart. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another epic HFY sci-fi adventure.